Welcome back, coders. This little foray, today we're going to look at Classifying Triangles project. So the Classifying Triangles project, you're going to follow with me as you're watching this video. We're going to code together this little mini project where we're going to classify triangles, three values of three sides of a triangle, determine if it's an acute triangle, a right triangle, or an obtuse triangle. So it builds off a little bit of what we just looked at with Pythagorean theorem. So you'll see the math behind the scenes here as we code. So that's what we're going to put in. So to get started, I've already given you some starter code. So feel free to go ahead and download that and then copy and paste that in the code block. So to show you what it looks like, so make sure you get the right file here. I'll view it here. Let's see what Schoology pops up. So here's the file that's going to get started. And then when we go over to our code blocks, here is the project as it sits. So just copy and paste this into your sandbox or into a new project, and your choice. So pause the video here to go ahead and complete that task. Okay, welcome back. So at this point, what we're going to do first is you can see our program currently is inputting three sides for a triangle. We are then going to, these are input in A, B, and C. And then in order for us to do this work, we actually need to know which of those three numbers is the smallest, which is the largest, and which is going to be the middle length, just because it's the middle length. We really need to know which one's the largest. Technically the smallest ones, it doesn't matter the order. But just to be consistent, I've put code in here to start that gets you that. So you can see we are using the min function to determine what's the minimum. Again, function, right? That's what we're theming here. The minimum function to determine what's the minimum of B and C, and then compare that answer with A. So you can see we have a function called within a function. All right, this is called, in mathematics world, we call this composite functions. Here in programming, we just call them functions that return a value, and we return the value and use it right away. So again, it's composite because you're putting it inside the other. All right, not a problem. So the mid is not a function. The mid, I just did a little quick calculation of adding the three numbers together and then subtracting large and small, which would be whatever the middle number would be left. All right, it would be the leftover. So that gets me those three numbers. Now, before we can get going with this, the first thing we need to do, the first function thing we need to test is we need to make sure that these three numbers that I've inputted actually create a triangle. Okay, so the very first thing we need to do. So we're going to get stuck here if this does not work. So we're going to do this. We're going to put this into an error checking loop. So I'm going to use a do loop. For this. All right, and we need to take these codes and indent them, and then down here put the closing brace. So the very first thing is we need to do this while. So while what? All right, well, we're going to stay in this loop while it's not a triangle. So all right, so I'm going to say not a triangle. You're like, well, Mr. Scholl, this makes no sense. There is no code to do this. Well, welcome to the world of function writing, right? And that's what we're looking at doing here. So I want this function to return for me a Boolean value, a true or false, to tell me if it's a triangle or not. So if it returns true, it means it's a triangle, right? So then if it returns true, not true becomes false, and it will kick out. Whereas if it returns false, because it's not a triangle, not false becomes true and will stay in here. So when we write functional code, it actually becomes readable code to our program. So the first part here, we're going to go ahead and type this in, and we get this, this not a triangle. We're going to check against the small, mid, and large. We need to send these three numbers are needed. So like in the min and max function, you can see that we have B and C. It needs two values, right? You're sending it parameters. We talked a little bit about parameters before. So it's sending the values for it to actually compare and execute on. So we need to do the same thing here for this code. So small, middle, and large, those three numbers need to go to the function. All right? And then, of course, with my while loop, I need to have a semicolon at the end. We learned that in the last unit. All right, so how do we actually now get to do this? This is what we want to actually have. So now I need to create my definition. All right? So this is a Boolean value. So first of all, I need to go up here, because this function is not in the header files. All right, the min and max, it's in the header file up here. All right, so the computer knows it exists. I'm not going to get a compiling error. Right now, if I'll just compile this so you can see the error I get. it says triangle was not declared in the scope. It's telling me I don't know what triangle is. So I need to tell it what triangle is. So up here, after the using namespace area, all right, we're going to include an area called the function prototypes. This is where we declare functions that the computer doesn't know about just yet. All right, that's all it is. Just a little area, section area that we set aside that we put these things. So now we go through and ask ourselves these key questions. Well, first of all, what is this function doing? Is it returning a value, or is it just going off to do a task? Well, this is, in essence, it's asking here to return a Boolean value. So I am returning a Boolean value. So instead of it being a void like you saw in a previous program or in the examples in the PowerPoint, this is returning a value. So it's returning a bool value. Well, what was the name of the function? Well, the name of the function is triangle. I can spell. All right. And then in the prototype area, the question is, well, are there any parameters? So we just have to forewarn. And these are all, as you can see, these are all double data types. So we'll just put double, double, double. And these are separated by a comma because it's a list, just like they were separated by a comma. It's just a list of items that are being listed out, saying as parameters, there's some doubles. And at the end of any declaration line, like we would declaring a variable, right, we always put a semicolon. So you see some trends here as we go. So pause the video, go ahead, and let's make sure you have your prototype line now up here. Okay, with the prototype completed, the next thing that you want to do is now we're going to go write the code, the definition, the actual code that this thing is actually going to do. All right, so I'm just going to minimize this here for a second. All right, and so, well, before I do that, well, I guess I can do that. All right, so I'm going to now, underneath this int main, where the int main is done, okay, so you can see that's what I thought. I didn't think it did that. All right, so let's go down here. I got to put the line in before I close it, collapse it. All right, there we go. Now it's after it. That's important. All right, so I want to be down here in line 26. I saw when I hit the return, I was still in the numbers like 9, 10, 11, so that was a problem. Okay, so down here in line 26, this is where we're going to get started for this code. All right, you're going to use the same header that we have listed at the top there. So bool triangle. All right, double, but this time, all right, I'm going to list them, all right, with variables. So let's do double. We'll just use the regular three letters A, B, and C, just because they're the sides of the triangle. All right, we don't use a semicolon this time because it's not a declaration line. This is actually the definition. So if you look at the int main line as a rule of thumb, int, what is it returning? Remember, it has that return 0 line. Main, it's the name of the function. There are no parameters for the main, so it's empty. But for us, we have 3 double values, so I need somewhere to collect them. So what's happening here is I am collecting a value for A, B, and C. So now these variables that I've just declared now have values in them. I don't know what those values are, depending on what the person entered when they ran the program. But I now have values in them. And so in here, all I'm going to do is I'm going to return the triangle inequality test. All right? So the test states that if they take the 2 smallest sides of the triangle, wannabe, all right, A plus B, you want to check to see if it's larger. It has to be larger than the largest side. Okay? This is the test from triangle inequality theorem. Okay? So that's all it's doing. I mean, I could have wrote that in its own while loop, you know, but then everybody's looking at it going, what in the world? What does that mean? This now makes readability sense. So this is the code. So pause the video here, and then I'll open up the other piece. Make sure you have this code typed in as appropriate. Okay. Now that you've checked your code, now let me open this up again and let's scroll down a little bit so you can see everything at play. So in here, while not triangle on small, middle, large, it's going to take small is going to line up with A, mid is B, and large is C. It's going to stick them in those variable locations. And then it's going to do this very simple inequality check of true or false, A plus B greater than C. If that's the case, then I know it satisfies the rule for being a triangle. That's the math definition beside the point. That's not really coding. That's the knowing of the mathematics that does this test. Okay, so if you didn't know that because you missed it in geometry class, well, we relearned it. You might need it for the SAT, by the way. Anyway, So the next piece then, when we go to run this, all right, if we run this and give this a chance, so run and build. All right. So let's put in a right triangle, which is a 3, 4, 5. See, it only took the numbers and everything was fine. All right. So now let's run it again, but let's this time make it not a triangle. So I'll do 1, 3, 5. 1, 3, 5. Notice it forces me to input the numbers again. I'm validating the information. So again, that whole loop validation was in the last unit, but here is you'd use with it, now using a function notation to read it, makes the code a little bit easier to read, as you can see now, while not a triangle. See, that's really kind of cool. So put in there, what about 2, 3, 5? Still not a triangle, right? 2 and 3 makes. What about 3, 3, 5? That should be 1. Yes, it gets me through. All right. So now here's the deal. The next video you're going to see, because I'm going to stop this video, I'm going to create this one. The next piece of the video is now going to make the function that's going to tie you in for this. So the function that we're going to create is now going to be the one that actually outputs the test. All right. So the classify. So this one is going to classify. We're just going to do a standard void. We'll call it classify. All right. And it's going to need, again, those 3 double numbers in order to classify. And then go ahead and make sure that's typed in. And then in the next video that you're going to see, where I'll start up again, we'll start from this point, and then we'll code the definition and the use in the main function. All right. Thank you, coders. We'll be right back.